It's a decision that could save your child's life. Make the wrong one and you place us all at risk. For doctors, the immunisation debate is as simple as that. But too many parents remain unconvinced. So tonight, a wake-up call on why this debate needs to end right now. Here's guest reporter Rebecca Madden.
Dana!
Dana who?
Dana Elizabeth McCaffrey.
Oh, she's beautiful. Beautiful.
This is the first day of my life.
Your mum, grandmother.
Swear I was born right in the doorway.
Dana McCaffrey's life was too short. She was born perfectly healthy, but at 4 weeks old, Dana caught whooping cough. Her dad David and mum Tony were worried but believed their baby girl would be fine.
I thought, whooping cough, okay, that's a bad cough. Oh good, we'll go to the hospital and we can get some antibiotics and now she'll get better. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And we had no idea what we were in for.
It's agonising to watch a baby choking, gasping for air. Dana suffered just like this very sick little girl. Her tiny body riddled with what most people believe is a harmless childhood disease. But it can be a catastrophic condition and there is no cure.
They called the intensive care team from Brisbane about 1 in the afternoon and they arrived about 8. And that's when they anaesthetised her and put her onto a ventilator, and that's the last time.
The last time we could have been intimate with our baby.
She was 6 times the size she should have been, and she was blue. And we were handed our baby back after her heart had stopped. And we couldn't believe that that had happened. She didn't look like our child anymore. You know, 1 minute she's this beautiful little girl. And then, you know, she looked like someone had strangled her. We bathed her because I wanted her to be warm. She was only in a nappy. And we dressed her and we had to leave her in the hospital and drive home.
Tony and David McCaffrey moved to this idyllic part of the world on the New South Wales north coast to enjoy the pristine environment with their growing young family. Clean living, clean food and clean air. But there was poison lurking behind that perfection. 1 in every 3 children in this region has never been vaccinated for the killer diseases we have controlled for decades. Whooping cough and measles are in epidemic proportions, and even polio could once again rear its ugly head. The disaster is being replicated in communities all over Australia.
It is really difficult to watch any baby go through that. Especially when it's something that didn't need to happen. You're going flat out to try and make sure that everything's done on a medical level, but just to watch it is, and to see the parents watching it, it's the most difficult thing in paediatrics.
To see a little baby trying to survive.
Yeah.
Paediatrician Chris Ingle led the team who fought to save Dana's life, but his biggest battle lies ahead. In northern New South Wales, he's facing an epidemic. In 1 month alone, Dr. Ingle has airlifted 3 critically ill children with whooping cough to intensive care in Brisbane. 2 came home, the third, Dana, did not. How do you feel as a doctor of 20 years that we're actually going backwards so fast?
It makes me angry that the message isn't getting through, because vaccines are a very safe and effective way to protect children, and the various groups in this region have different belief systems which are very difficult to shake.
Are you proud that this area has one of the lowest vaccination rates in the country?
I don't think there's anything to be proud or ashamed of. I think I am proud that our organization is assisting parents to get information that they would not otherwise be able to access.
The debate over vaccination doesn't fire up without fuel. In her office bunker 20 kilometres from baby Dana's home, Meryl Dorey leads the crusade against mass vaccination. She believes natural remedies are effective weapons against disease. 3 of her 4 children aren't vaccinated.
My mother used to put me with all the neighborhood kids when they got these diseases, so I'd get them and get them over with and be immune. And there was no fear. There was no worry about it. We just got them. We were supposed to get them, and we did. And we were healthier for them. Now, we have a medical community that's saying if you get measles, if you get whooping cough, you're going to die from it. Well, where is the information from that? You didn't die from it 30 years ago, and you're not going to die from it today.
Yours is the first face that I saw.
But Dana McCaffrey did die, and many other children have become critically ill. Rewind just a few decades and things were much worse.
New hydrotherapeutic baths, useful in treating limbs crippled by infantile paralysis.
Until mass vaccination began, measles and whooping cough killed hundreds of children.
Let's hope that scenes like this will be something of the past.
Professor, is there a danger polio could return?
Yes, it's possible there could be a polio outbreak, and we saw an example of that in a religious community in the Netherlands where no one immunised their children, and polio was imported into that community, and a large number of cases of polio occurred. So that kind of thing could happen in Australia, just as it happened in the Netherlands.
What have you got there, Christine?
Professor Peter McIntyre heads up the National Task Force tracking disease hotspots throughout Australia where parents are refusing to vaccinate their kids.
It's a bit of Russian roulette, really. Parents who choose not to give any vaccines to their children are placing them at risk still of fatal diseases.
Any one of these people walking past me could be a killer. They wouldn't even know it themselves. But I carry an invisible weapon. I am fully immunised, and even if a killer bug comes my way, I might get a bit sick, but I won't die. If every person who could be vaccinated was vaccinated, we would essentially never have to deal with killer cases of preventable diseases again. Those in our community who can't be immunised because they're too young or too old or have weak immune systems would be protected by the rest of us.
Making a poppy sound.
Like 5-year-old Levi McCormack, Australia's youngest ever heart transplant candidate.
And what's his name?
Bunny rabbit.
Levi's health is so fragile, he can't be immunised. His mum, Karina, is counting on others to protect her boy.
If the conditions that have been almost wiped out through vaccinations in the past are on the rise, then my son's at risk.
What about if one of your children got whooping cough?
They have.
And have you seen help from the medical profession?
We treated whooping cough homeopathically, and none of us were sick for more than 2 weeks, and my vaccinated children got it and my unvaccinated children got it, and none of us were sick for more than 2 weeks, and it was nothing worse than a bad cough.
I am really grateful that she hasn't made me go through the vaccinations after I did have that serious reaction.
Jackson Butler's reaction was a body rash, but his mother, Belinda, blames his ongoing medical problems and learning difficulties on that first jab at 8 weeks old.
You've come a long way, haven't you?
Yeah.
He had trouble feeding. He never slept very well at all, but he was just getting chronically ill all the time.
The reports that we get are children who have seizures, children who become brain damaged, children who develop diabetes, who develop autism. These are serious reactions after vaccination.
Fortunately, there have now been very large and very detailed studies which have shown time and time and time again that there is no link between vaccines and autism.
For many parents, it is a confusing debate, a difficult decision.
Should be all up to date, like all your
But as numbers of vaccinated children continue to drop, we're heading towards a critical tipping point where preventable diseases kill again.
It was a really big decision to speak out, we've been through the worst possible pain. But I was also thinking, it's just not right. It's just not right that my little girl is in a grave. And I didn't want to be the vaccination crusader, you know? I just wanted to be a mum.
Nor is it our responsibility. It's the responsibility of governments, and they need to take charge.
Would you like to see vaccination compulsory for all children?
If things kept falling away and became worse than this, and that was the only way to do it, yes. I think the risk-benefit for vaccination is firmly established. The benefit far outweighs the risk.
But I realized that I need you, and I wondered if I could come home.
The day after you come home and I'm up all night with my milk, she got ripped away from us that quickly and my body didn't have time to catch up. And it's only now that it is, and that reality is starting to sink in, that she's not coming back. They're the ones that get you out of bed in the morning.
Dana never got to know her brother and sister. Over Easter, on the day she should have been christened, Tony and David planted a tree in memory of the daughter they held for only 4 weeks.
I look at that tree and I'm angry because I think, I don't want a tree. I just want my girl.
Yeah, that poor little Dana died just 2 weeks before she was to receive her vaccination.
That's why Professor McIntyre's about to start a trial to vaccinate children at birth. Look, let's hope it works.